Yo, what is good, people? How's it going? Hope everyone is well. If you guys are here, drop a message in the chat. I've also just fixed my microphone, I think. So if you can hear me alright, let me know. That'd be much appreciated. Major Trouble, what is good, bro? Steve, how's it going? Excited to get into some of your guys' tracks today. How we all doing? Sweet, mic is all good. What have people been up to this week? Any new tunes? Any more news on music? Steve, how's it going, man? Joan, what is good, brother? We're just going to wait for a few more people to hop on. Then we'll dive straight in. Shadow Ryukin, how's it going, bro? We've got a fair few to get through today, but if you're new to the streams, if you go into the description of this live stream, you'll be able to go on the Discord and drop your track. Sudi and Retro, how's it going, bro? Orlando, what's good? Sudi Apollo, how's it going, man? Hope you guys are all good. Literally just gonna give it 30 more seconds and we'll dive in. Also, if you guys could just let me know if you can hear this all good. I'm all good, thanks, Sudi. Thanks for asking, bro. DJ Oriam, how's it going? Sweet. Right. Orlando says we're all good. So we're going to dive straight in. First up, we have Frank Dragon with El Ritmo.
Siente el ritmo.
Dale, dale, dale.
So I'm just going to give some feedback as we go through the tracks at certain points. So this one's really cool. I really like the sort of saturated feel of everything together. Just a few things here, like on the drop, you didn't bring the bass in right away, which I think just takes away all the impact of the drop. So yeah, I think you should just definitely add that in. But yeah, bass is cool. Maybe you could play with the envelope of the bass, because there seems to be quite a lot of space in the low end that could be filled up, basically. And also you played this like cool 808 sort of bass right here, which is different to the normal bass line, but I think this one works better. So maybe try using this throughout the track. Just gives it a bit more groove, in my opinion. But yeah, man, so far so good. Vocal is really nice as well.
El ritmo.
Dale, dale, dale.
ritmo,
Dale, dale.
el ritmo, mueve tu cuerpo, el ritmo.
So I think in terms of like mix down and arrangement for this one, I think you could work on this a bit. Maybe grab one of like Matroda's tracks. This is sort of, it's got that similar sort of drum sound, them heavy hitting kicks, and sort of a similar vocal as well. So maybe just grab one of his tracks and just use it in terms of arrangement and mix down, because there are some sections here where it sort of drags on, and you could definitely fill it up with something, or maybe just even shorten it altogether.
El ritmo, 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 ritmo de la noche. Siente el ritmo. Siente el ritmo.
But yeah, nice one, Frank. Wicked vibe, bro. Yeah, just really cool idea. I think definitely a reference track in this will definitely allow you to see sort of what you're missing. And like I say, Matroda, that sort of style, would definitely suit this sort of track in terms of arrangement and mix down reference. But yeah, man, thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, next up, Orlando. Orlando is definitely in the chat. Yeah, there he is. Cool. Right, let's get into it. After Midnight. .2. Yeah, so far, man, wicked. Mix down sounds great. Yeah, drums are really nice, solid. Bass is solid, nice groove as well. Yeah, I think everything's working well together. I think like maybe like a synth hook or something would be nice, but again, it might come on a bit later on. So yeah, but good work so far, man. Cool, man. Yeah, this is really nice, Orlando. I really like the overall vibe. I think you've nailed the drums and the bass. For me, like the vocal, I don't know. I just don't think it matches the vibe of everything else. Like you've got this really cool like heavy kick with like your bass and stuff. and I just think the vocal sort of slows it down. So I don't know, maybe look at adding like a different vocal, just go through Splice and just sort of have your track playing in the background, and then just start playing some vocals, and I think you'll instantly hear like that you could have a vocal that lifts the track more in terms of energy than what you've currently got. But again, that's just like a preference sort of thing, so there's obviously no right or wrong answers. But yeah, other than that, maybe a little bit of variation in the drops, and then yeah, just a bit more use of like automation and stuff in the build up would be nice. So yeah, definitely some things to think about, but like the whole idea and the groove and the sound selection is really, really nice. So yeah, man, top work. Sweet. Konnichiwa has removed the track. Okay, we have a Spotify link. Cool. Right, we have YH4 with All the Boys.
Dancing around in my tight dress, I'm feeling myself, got them all picking their neck. Just to look at me, I don't mean to be like that. Everywhere I go, collateral effect. All the boys say I'm a little salty, but they kinda like it when I get a little ballsy. I don't mean to be like that. Everywhere I go, collateral effect. All the boys say I'm a little salty, but they kinda like it when I get a little ballsy. Gotta level up, gotta get naughty, gotta let some leave when my legs get flossy. Dancing around in my tight dress, I'm feeling myself.
Cool. I really like the vocal, and I think the use of like the pads and stuff with the chords, really cool. Builds like some tension and stuff, which is really nice at the beginning. Yeah, the bass sounds really cool as well. Sounds really like analog. Yeah, it's definitely released. But yeah, just in the drop, like I don't know if the arrangement works really with that vocal. I think maybe you could use some of the vocal in the drop as well, like maybe chop it up. Because other than the vocal, there's not really something to hook onto in terms of like synths or vocal chops. It's just the kick and the bass, or the drums and the bass. So just maybe even just some ear candy here and there would be nice. But yeah, man, groove's really good.
Them all picking their neck, just to look at me, a little ballsy. Gotta level up, gotta get naughty, gotta let some leave when my legs get flossy. Just to look at me, I don't mean to be like that. You gotta
Cool, man. Yeah, that sort of saw lead you've got there is really nice. I think maybe just adding a little bit of release or like a reverb, so it's got a bit of a towel. Just like small things, just it just seems to like cut off straight away. But yeah, other than that, like again, the vocal's really nice, but some vocal chops like in between would be cool, because it's just like the same vocal loop and then it stops and then you don't hear it again and it repeats like the full thing. Yeah, it just had a bit more tension in like the breakdowns and stuff, and made the drop a bit more interesting. But yeah, that synth is really, really nice. I'd maybe even look at using it in the first drop, maybe adding some like automation or some like a gate effect. Again, just to like mix it up. But yeah, man, other than that, really nice. Thanks for sending that in. Sweet. Right, next up, we have CLG Safari with Endaki. Right, let's go. Okay, yeah, this is actually sick. I really like the idea, and it sounds like really like heavy. Again, really good sound selection in like the drums and the bass. Really nice groove. I think for me the big thing in this is like the arrangement. So this is obviously like a radio edit, if you want to say, 2 minutes long, and I think it just takes way too long to sort of come into any sort of instrument coming in apart from the kick and the bass. So like I would definitely tease this stuff a bit earlier. But yeah, I know it's a work in progress, so yeah, just something to think about. But yeah, man, cool idea so far. Cool, man. Yeah, wicked idea. Again, just like the arrangement, but if it's a work in progress, it's something that you can definitely work on. Again, it's got that sort of Matroda sound in terms of like the vibe it's giving off. So maybe again go and grab one of his tracks that's along the same line as this, and just use it as a reference in terms of like arrangement and stuff. But like you've got a solid groove. Good use of like simps and stuff, some nice call and response in there. I would say there's quite a few simps going on, so maybe just focus on like one or two, and have them sort of really stand out in the mix. So like the one on the drop's really nice, and then maybe this acid shot or something. But yeah, other than that, like really nice. Mix down again sounds great. Just work on that arrangement, and yeah, man, good work. Cool. Right, on to the next. We have Major Trouble. I'm pretty sure he's in the chat. Cool. With What You Know. Let's go. wicked vibe. Yeah, I really like what you've done with the vocal, like chopped it up and then did some cool like pitching and stuff like that. I think that's really, really nice. Yeah, synth work is really cool as well. The only thing that's not working for me is like the bass. I'm not sure like if it's just like the patch or if it's not in mono or not, but it just seems like it's not carrying enough low end. It seems a bit like sloppy. So I'd definitely look at maybe just like tightening that up, maybe looking at a different patch, or I don't know, or potentially just keeping that, adding a low cut and just adding like a sub underneath, just to add a bit more low end, because that's where I feel like it's really lacking. But everything else is really cool, like the idea works really well. So yeah, man, good work so far. Okay, that was unexpected. Yeah, I really like that actually, that drop. Definitely like comes out of nowhere. Like I was expecting just like the regular drop. Yeah, that's proper sick. And like you come in with the fake drop as well here, which I think is really cool. But yeah, this drop here like literally just took me by surprise. Yeah, so that's really cool. I like the sort of variation. I feel like that's what sort of like John Summit and that are doing at the moment with the stuff that they're playing out. Yeah, he's just doing like a lot of like unexpected drops in terms of like just a completely different genre, like a bit of dubstep. Yeah, man, that's really cool. The only thing I would again work on here is like the arrangement. Yeah, I would just look at maybe a track again like along this sort of vibe, because it feels like it's just dragging on a bit in this sort of break area. So whether you need to like fill it with something or just completely cut like 8 bars out. But yeah, man, wicked idea, and love the creativity and stuff with this drop. Really cool. Cool, man. Yeah, I was just checking that bass here. As it was lacking in like the sub, I realised you got like a layer underneath. So I'm not sure if you need to maybe follow the same rhythm as this like top bass that you've got, just to sort of glue it together, and just maybe increase the low end on this sub. And I also saw you say you've layered the synths for the bass. I'm not sure that's why it's sounding like sort of sloppy, but I would definitely just try and use like one sound and sort of nail that, because you can definitely sort of, if you choose the right sound, you can definitely make this sort of the characteristics of this sound just with one sort of patch, rather than layering, because it can cause like phase issues and stuff like that. But yeah, man, other than that, really, really nice vibe. Yeah, man, loved it. Thanks for sending that in. Cool. Right, next up we have Sudi and Retro. I'm pretty sure they're in the chat. Cool. Right, Enter the Rave. Let's go.
When I enter the rave, it's clear. Turn big DJs to a dangerous smear. Five man, then we're meant to be here. You'll know our names by the end of the year. When I enter the rave, it's clear. Turn big DJs to a dangerous smear. Five man, then we're meant to be here. You'll know our names by the end of the year.
Sick. Cool track. Sorry about the technical issues. I don't know what happened there. I think it's my webcam, but yeah, we're back. But yeah, really loved it. The bass is really nice. It definitely adds I would suggest saturation to the bass, as you hear it on like phone speakers and stuff. Right, I think I'm back. Apologies about that. I don't know what's happening with my stuff. It just seems to break. Could people just let me know in the chat if you can hear me all good, please? I'm having to use my laptop webcam, but I think we're good. We're back. Sweet. Sorry about that, people. I need to get a new webcam. My mic has just, for some reason, started working, so we're all good on that. Sweet. Right, where were we? So yeah, bassline's really cool, but I'd definitely look at adding maybe some saturation. As yeah, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it on like phone or even like in your car and stuff. I just think a bit more presence and maybe the high end, a bit more crunch would be really nice. But yeah, that synth as well in the second drop's really cool. I'm not sure about the sort of minimal, like deep house sort of stabs. I'm not sure it matches the rest of the vibe of the track in terms of like the vocal. And yeah, I just think that vocal and the synth on the second drop, like they're the same vibe. They work really well together. But yeah, I'm just not sure on them sort of minimal deep house stabs. Again, that's just an opinion sort of thing. But yeah, mixdown's great. Everything else sounds wicked. So yeah, thanks for sending that in. Right, let's move on to the next one. Hopefully we have no more technical issues. But I think we're good now. I think the webcam was causing a lot of it. Cool. Right, we have Foxair back up with Muévelo. Let's go.
Muévelo bien rico, muévete morena. Muévelo bien rico, muévete morena. Muévelo bien rico, muévete morena. Dame la vuelta, dame la vuelta.
Cool, man. Yeah, I really like the sort of percussive stuff that you got going on here, combined with that sort of vocal. I think it works really well in creating like a vibe. So far, just like arrangement is not really working, in my opinion. Like you could have like a really like sort of breakdown where everything sort of slows down and is sort of stripped back and then build like back up. But so far it's like 1 minute in and it just seems to drag along just a bit too much. But yeah, like you've nailed all like the elements and stuff. Like they work really well together. I think so far it's just the arrangement which is sort of holding it back. But yeah, cool vibe so far.
Muévelo bien rico, muévete morena. Muévelo bien rico, muévete. Muévelo bien rico, muévete. Muévelo bien rico, muévete. Muévelo bien rico, muévete morena. Muévelo bien rico, muévete. Muévelo bien rico, muévete. Muévelo bien rico, muévete. Muévelo bien rico, muévete morena. Dame la vuelta, dame la vuelta, dame la vuelta. Muévelo bien rico, muévete bandolera.
Wicked, man. Yeah, sick vibe. Yeah, I think in terms of them like synth stabs, I know that Joan was saying in the chat as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if it works again with the like drum percussive Latin sort of vocal vibe. I think a good place to take this track would be to like go on to like tour room tracks, look at their releases. They do a lot of stuff in this sort of percussive Latin vibe with like a driving sort of bass. So I think just look at that in terms of like, especially arrangement, mix down, but like their synths and stuff. I think this just seems a bit too like chill and too soft for this sort of vibe. But yeah, like I love the percussion, the drums, the bass and the vocal. I think they work really well together. But yeah, I think just the synths are just taking the whole track out to like a different vibe or like a different context. Which I think the one thing that is really important when making a track is you need to nail like the vibe and the context of it. So everything's working together. And just sort of like helping each other bring out the best of the track. But yeah, man, really cool vibe. Thanks for sending that in. Sweet. Right, next up, Fluid 6. How are you doing, bro? Hope you're good. Cool. Right, come back. Fluid 6. Let's go. Cool, man. Yeah, wicked so far. The drums are super tight, really punchy. The sort of FM stab you've got as well is really nice. I think the bass is a bit like, again, like a bit too, I don't know, it's just a bit too like repetitive, and it's not really helping the track. It's sort of holding the energy back. So maybe even like a 16th rolling bass, or just something a bit sort of deeper, or maybe even this, but maybe just sidechain it a bit more heavily, because it just seems to be like sitting on top of the track right now, rather than just like carrying the low end. So yeah, but other than that, vocals really nice. Love the sort of chopping up stuff you've done here. So yeah, man.
Get it, we got 'em. Baseline feel like I drop bombs on 'em.
Bye, baby. Came back. Came back.
Get it.
Too hot when I drop that. Bye, baby. Came back. Bye, baby. Came back.
We
Cool. So this breakdown, you've got some really cool elements in there. Like you've got this massive sort of brass sound, which is like really nice. It creates a lot of tension, and that's the first bit of like tension there has been in the song, in my opinion. Like the breaks could be filled up a bit more with like pads or some atmosphere or stuff like this, just used a bit more often, because they seem quite empty at the minute. But yeah, other than that, really cool. When it comes back in, it drops really heavy, like the bass hits hard, and then drums as well. So yeah, man, sorry, that FM bass. Yeah, cool, man.
Too hot when I drop
bombs on 'em.
Bye, baby. Came back. Bye, baby. Came back.
Baseline feel like I drop bombs on 'em. Get it.
Cool, man. Yeah, wicked track. Yeah, I love that some of the elements you've got in here, like that stab and the vocal as well. Like all the vocal, like I see you've got multiple like vocals in there. I think they all sort of work, but there's one that really stands out for me, which is like, if I try and find it. I think that sort of female high pitched one is definitely really cool. So I think maybe use more of that. and then just drop the odd vocal in now and again from the other ones that you've got. But yeah, man, like really cool vibe. Again, just work on them breakdowns, and maybe just try changing that bass to something a bit more sort of energy, a bit more grit in the low end. But yeah, man, thanks for sending in. Cool. Okay, next up we have Ruben with Feedback Player Arena. I'm guessing that's Spanish. Cool. Right, let's go.
Quiere playa y arena, el sol en la piel le quema. Un drink para la nena, no tiene novio, no le da pena. Quiere playa y arena, el sol en la piel le quema. Un drink para la nena, no tiene novio, no le da pena.
Cool, man. Yeah, there's some stuff I really like about this. I think your bass groove is like wicked. Again, drum choice is really good. I think the mix down could be slightly better, just to bring out like the best of the bass. The bass could definitely come up in the mix, but yeah, for something like that, maybe reference like Pauser, or again something with this sort of bass groove like Max Dean or anyone like that, in that sort of minimal tech space. But yeah, man, wicked groove. Wicked sounding bass as well. Like the tonality and stuff, just really nice, fits perfectly. Again, I think this break is just a bit too sort of bare, in my opinion. You could definitely fill it up with some more stuff. Maybe tease the vocal a bit earlier. But yeah, other than that, like really cool so far. Great sound selection on the drums as well.
Quiere playa y arena, el sol en la piel le quema. Un drink para la nena. No quiere playa.
Cool, man. Yeah, wicked work, Ruben. I love these vocal chops you've got in here as well. That's really cool. Definitely use them earlier in the track, 100%. And yeah, again, just like the breakdown, I like the sort of repetitive vocal as well you've got here. That's really nice. But I hear you've got like some keys or like some chords in there. Maybe just bring them up in the mix. Like look at adding like a string or some atmosphere. Yeah, like Jones says, just add a bit more tension to the build up. But yeah, man, like groove is absolutely spot on. Just have a look at a track in this sort of area for mix down reference, and yeah, man, you're good to go. Cool. Right, next up we have Null Tone with Your Lovin'. Jesus, 140 something, I'm guessing. Maybe 150. I'd even say that's 160. Yeah, I like it. I really like it. I think the vocal works really well, and the sound choice for the bass is really nice. It's like crunchy. Yeah, it sounds great in these headphones. Again, this is not my sort of speciality, but just from listening, like that lead sound, I would definitely sort of try and spice that up a bit more. Again, like Jop says, a bit more reverb or delay, something like that. Maybe process it a bit more with some saturation. But yeah, I would like to hear it slightly slower, just so I can fully like hear or feel the groove. I'm not sure what BPM this is, but I'm guessing it's like 160. But yeah, it's really cool so far. So yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, wicked idea. Yeah, the vocal works really well with the groove. I think the issue is the synth. Yeah, I'm not sure like if you've got it panned or like if you've got it really wide in the mix, but I can't seem to sort of properly, I don't know, hear it, or it just seems like it's lost in the mix. And it just seems pretty plain. But yeah, maybe just look at like a new patch or something. I'm not sure what like synthesizer you're using for this, but maybe even just like in opening up the filter a bit more, adding a bit of release, and like modulating like the filter and stuff with your envelope or something like that, just to like spice it up a bit. Because I know this sort of, I don't know what it is, maybe like a saw up a few octaves is like a really sort of sound that people are using a lot more, especially in that like Eurodance sort of genre. But yeah, man, other than that, really, really cool. Love the vibe of this. So yeah, man, thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, next up we have DJ Beans. He's in the chat, I believe. What is good, bro? Alpha J just needs a piano for full 90s vibes. Yeah, definitely. Although I don't know how a piano would work at that BPM, but that's a challenge for null time. Cool. Right, DJ Beans, Don't You Want Me? Cool, man. Yeah, nice vibe in terms of like the vocal and the synths and stuff. I think there's one vocal in there which sounds slightly out of key, so maybe just have a look at that or just remove it. But this main vocal's working really nice with that sort of with that synth like ARP that you got going on. But yeah, in terms of the actual groove and stuff, it is missing a bass. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or by accident, but you have got a bass in this sort of section here, like a cool like sub bass. But yeah, I'm guessing that was by accident. The bass didn't bounce with the track. Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll just pretend the bass is in there. But yeah, man, like nice vibe in terms of like the synths and the vocal and stuff. Really cool. I'm just trying to imagine what it would sound like with the bass. Solid drums as well. Cool, man. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I can feel your pain. Sorry, I didn't have the right version, my bad. Yeah, no worries, man. At least you've got a bass in there. It would have been good to hear it with it, but yeah. It's cool. I can definitely get an idea of the track. This like synth, like ARP sort of thing that you got going on, I'd definitely maybe like take it out in some points because it does seem to run through quite a lot. But other than that, like again, drums are solid. Love the vocal. Just maybe look at taking one of the vocals out. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one which was like out of key. But this main vocal sounds really cool. So yeah, man, nice work. Cool. Next up, Fizzles. We would love some honest feedback. Cool. Let's go. DJ Beans, you're all good, bro.
When I see you dancing,
Cool. So far, I really like the vocal. The bass is really nice. I think the mix down could definitely have some work done. And just a bit more tension in the breakdown would have been nice. But yeah, I'm sure there is more to come. But yeah, so far, really good elements in there. Yeah, nice vibe.
I'm like,
Goes from my heart right to my fingertips. Oh, I need you to tell me now how much you're into me. Oh, right away.
When I see you dancing, I know you're a fan. It's some kind of magic, yeah, right away. Right away, right away, right away, right away, right away, right away, right away.
I'm like,
Cool. Yeah, I think it's definitely worthwhile to stick to one vocal hook. I'm not sure if it's like in the same pack or whatever, but it just seems like it's a brand new song in this sort of section here. So I think definitely stick with the current vocal hook. But yeah, the bass, it does seem to sort of overlap each other. It does seem slightly muddy in some areas. So maybe even just like shorten the notes would solve that issue. But yeah, I really like the synth on the drop here. I think it's maybe a slightly bit too loud. But yeah, other than that, like, yeah, I love the groove. Drums are solid, so yeah.
When I see you dancing, I can hear the party.
When I see you dancing, I know you're a fan. I can hear the party, don't want it to end. When I see you dancing, I know you're a fan. I can hear the party, don't want it to end.
Cool, man. Yeah, wicked vibe. I think it's super heavy. I think you could definitely work on the mix down again by just grabbing like a reference track. But yeah, just maybe the low end just sounds a bit more. It sounds slightly muddy and it sounds sort of like overcrowded. So definitely look at maybe cleaning that up. I think the bass is what's the issue here. But yeah, the overall vocal with the sort of vibe of the kick and the bass and stuff, with like the synths work really well. So yeah, man, thanks for sending in. Cool. Next up we have Armensky. Cool. Right, Badum. I also want to get through all of your guys' tracks, so I'm just gonna needle drop a little bit just so we make sure we get to everyone. So cool. Right, let's go. Yeah, Amensky, I really like the vocal here. I think it's different. It's not something that you hear on like a normal sort of tech house track, so that's really nice. The breakdown, I feel like you could definitely take a lot of stuff out because the drop doesn't seem to have much impact. It just seems to like it's carrying on. There doesn't seem like there's a proper breakdown here, so I definitely think strip it back even a bit more, and that'll definitely help with that. But yeah, man, other than that, really cool. Yeah, the drums are solid, so yeah, man. I also think you could work on the bass, like sound selection. I think it's just sort of, it's not really sitting in the track properly. I don't know if that's like a mix down thing or a sound selection, but it just seems to be like dragging the track down in terms of like energy. So I'd definitely look at maybe looking at a different sound or maybe a different melody and just making sure it's side chained to your kick. Cool, man. Great work, Armensky. Really cool track. Again, like, love that vocal. I loved how you've used it as well in the breakdown to build up to this drop. And you've got a really cool like effect here just before the drop, which I really like. For me, the breakdown is slightly too long, maybe like 16 bars too long. I think it just drags on a bit, mainly at this start section. So maybe you can just cut out like 8 or 16 bars altogether at the start. And yeah, the synth on the drop, I think the rhythm is cool. It really complements the sort of groove. But again, I don't know if it's a sort of mix down thing or a sound selection thing, because the sound sounds pretty good. So it may just be a mix down thing. It's not really sitting right in the mix. You can't really hear the sort of high end of it. It just seems to be buried in the mix. So it's the mix. I struggle a bit with the bass mixing. Alright, cool. So yeah, man, grab a reference track again in this sort of area with similar sort of drums and bass. Again, I would recommend something from like Tool Room Tracks or something in that sort of area that has this like this sort of housey percussive drums with that sort of low rolling bass. That would be a good sort of starting point to find a track, and then just drag it into your DAW and literally just like level the elements in your track to match. You can start off by just matching the volume, and that will really help like bring the track to life. But yeah, man, thanks for sending that in. Yeah, I love the sort of idea and the whole vibe here. So yeah, man, nice work. Just work on the mix down. And yeah, I'd love to hear it again once you've done that. Cool. Right, next up we have Van with Hijacked and his remix of it. Cool.
Fuck your hoe, 'cause she like that.
fuck your hoe, cause she like that. Yeah, bitch, fat ass pretty, I might wife that. Niggas swear they pimpin', Scotty sippin', get your wife back. Oh, you know you trippin', Flacco different, know you like that. Swipe a pretty bitch right off her feet, this a hijack. Why your nigga flexin' like he me, ain't even like that. Bitch mistake my newest pinky ring for an ice pack. Shorty keep rats and bet my finger in me. Feeling like I'm Sosa Chiefy Key. Okay.
Cool, man. Wicked groove. Really like the bass in this. Yeah, I think it just works really well. Drums are solid as well, and I really like the arrangement in this and how you've carried on the sort of vocals into the drop. It just works like super well and it just hits really hard. And yeah, mix down is super clean as well. So yeah, man, great work on this one so far.
That's a life tat. Walk inside the booth, I just talk, I don't write raps. Walk into the sound way, I don't want you in a life rap.
Been gone so long, I'm back to stay. No love is lost, I like to the sun. And when I'm gone, you should stay.
Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for sending that in, bro. Sounding wicked. Yeah, I like how the variation between the second and first drop. Yeah, I think it just breaks the track up nicely. So yeah, great work on that. The stabs as well, like the synth stabs are really cool. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would sort of work on is this area here. Just seems like it's a bit sort of empty, and again just drags along a bit too much. Would skip that second drop, Vox, says John. Yeah, I think I would agree. I like what the drop does in terms of like the drums are like left out, and it's just a different sort of vibe to the first one. But I would definitely maybe look at just dragging that vocal, to be honest, and putting it in this section where it just seems a bit like dead and nothing's going on. And then maybe just look at adding some of them synth stabs into this bit here for the drop. I think that might be a shout. And it's definitely worth giving it a go. But other than that, yeah, really, really like the track. Super solid mix down. Really good sound selection. So yeah, man, great work. Cool. Right, we have a few more to get through. Next up we have Jop. I know Jop is in the chat. Hope you're good, bro. With ID featuring San Denique. Cool. Let's go.
I can feel your blood streaming, and I feel your heart beating. You're far away. I can see that you'll always be mine.
job. That was crazy. Yeah, good to hear something different as well. You're obviously very talented at like musical melodies and stuff like that, because yeah, that was a great piece of music. Like the vocals really sort of captured you, and the melody and stuff goes like perfectly well with it. Yeah, I haven't got really much to comment on that. Maybe some more like low end in some of it would have been nice, but again, this isn't my sort of speciality. But as like a piece of music to listen to, yeah, sick. Sick game or movie trailer. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like your ability to do like melodies and like the sound selection and stuff, really, really cool. And yeah, good to hear something different. So yeah, Jop, thanks for sending that in, bro. Sounding super sick. Cool. Next up we have Shadow Ryukin with Maximum. Let's go.
Open your mind, play by my rules. I need your soul, dance every night. Open your mind, play by my rules. I need your soul, dance every night.
Give it up, give it up, give it up one time. Give it up, give it.
Cool, man. Weren't expecting that drop. Yeah, I really like the Chris Lorenzo stabs you've got in here. They're really cool. I think you could definitely have the hi-hat still in the drop though. Yeah, I think it just kills like the energy when it's just the kick in the bass. Especially with the rhythm of the sort of stab. Yeah, I definitely think just try adding the hi-hat back in. But yeah, other than that, vocals really nice. Maybe a bit more low end would be cool. It just seems a bit more empty at the minute than it should. So maybe just have a look at that. But yeah, energy super high. So yeah, man, cool.
Give it up one time. Give it up, give it up.
Evolve.
Give it up, give it up, give it up one time. Let's go. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
By my rules, I need your soul.
Give it up, give it up, give it up one time. Let's give it up, give it up, give it up.
Cool, man. Yeah, wicked vibe. I would definitely look at maybe again like the drop. I don't know, the synth is cool, but it just seems a bit repetitive, so maybe it just might be a melody thing. Like if you look at changing the melody, it could definitely help with the sort of energy and stuff. But this other like sort of counter melody synth that you've got going on here, again, I really like the sort of sound of that. So it might be an idea to maybe try that on the drop. And yeah, man, just have a look at that bass. Make it sort of, try and make it feel like the low end a bit more. It just seems to be lacking slightly. But yeah, man, other than that, wicked track. Thanks for sending that in. Cool. Right, I'm going to try and get through as many of these as possible. I know we still have a fair few left, so yeah, again, I'm just going to sort of needle drop a bit. Right, let's go.
Jack, the
man. Yeah, I really like the vocal. I don't know if that's done, whether that's a sample or whether you've done that and pitched it down. But yeah, sounds really cool. Fits the vibe of the drums and the bass perfectly. And yeah, mixed down again is super solid. So haven't got much to say so far, but let's listen to the rest. Cool, man. Yeah, wicked track, SNRS. Yeah, again, I haven't got really much to say on this one, other than it would be nice to hear a bit more tension in the breakdown from either like a respace or a pad or an atmosphere or something like that. The big reverb on the vocal is cool as well, and I like how it sort of goes dry towards the end into the drop. But yeah, other than that, that's all I really have to say about it. Like, the mix down is solid, sound choice is great. So yeah, man, great work. Cool. Right, let's go into the next one. We have Tropical Tech Demo by Beer Weagle. Let's go. Sick. Yeah, I really like the flute trumpet sort of sound that you got there. And I like the drums, the percussion and stuff. It definitely matches the vibe of that. I think you've nailed that. And again, the bass is really cool. It would be cool to hear like a vocal hook, something that you can like latch onto. I do like the vocal stabs and stuff that you've got here. I think that's really nice. But definitely like maybe like a Latin vocal or something that would fit in this sort of vibe would be really cool. But yeah, like the foundations are definitely there. Obviously this is like 1.5 minutes, so a full arrangement would be nice to hear. And in terms of mix down, I'd definitely, again, this is like that tool room sort of vibe, so just go and grab one of their tracks and just use it as like a template, even for arrangement as well. And definitely the mix down. But yeah, cool track, man, really like it. Yeah, I'd love to hear this again with the full arrangement. So yeah, send it back in next time and I'll take a listen. Cool. Right, next up we have Colby Fisher and John Virus. Flex Up.
roll, roll. Flex up, stretch out, big bands, roll, roll, roll. Big bands, roll, roll.
Cool. Yeah, drop is heavy. The stab is massive. And like the counter melodies and stuff works really well together. I'm not sure if that's a sample or you've designed that or it's a preset or something, but it sounds wicked. Yeah, I like how it sort of drops a minimal groove and then everything else comes back in. That's really nice. Yeah, again, just like a bit of tension in this sort of area here would be cool. Just again to sort of make the drop hit even harder, but yeah, it definitely works. And yeah, again, mixed down sounding really good as well on this one. Yeah.
Stretch out, big bands, roll, roll. Stretch out, big bands, roll, roll, roll. Stretch out, big bands, roll, roll. Flex up, 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 flex up, flex up, flex up, flex up, flex up, stretch out, big bands, roll, roll.
Sweet. Yeah, this one is super solid. Yeah, like the mix is great. I love the synths on the drop. I think you could add a bit more like automation to maybe these synths, just to like add a bit more variation a bit later on, because it just sort of repeats the same thing, especially that triple like acid stab sort of thing here. But yeah, like the whole idea as a track is like super solid. Arrangement works really well. Again, it's just adding a bit of tension where you can in these breakdowns, just to make the drop hit even more harder. But yeah, other than that, like bass is super nice, drums are hitting really hard. So yeah, man, great work. Cool. Right, let's go on to the next one. We have Emotions by Steve Hookaway. Cool. Vocals really nice on this. I think the piano could definitely be a bit more like brighter, or maybe like higher up in the mix. But yeah, it's got that really cool sort of like 2012, 2013 sort of piano house. So yeah, it definitely sort of works with the vocal and the piano. I just think it's like a mixed down thing. But yeah, I think this is really cool so far. Yeah, let's just carry on to see what else is in the track. Sick. Yeah, again, love the vibe. Yeah, it does remind me of that Some Days track by Sonny Fodera and DOD, which again, yeah, is smashing it in the UK. But yeah, it's definitely got that same sort of vibe. I think the bass could definitely be a bit more present in this one as well, as I can't really hear it. So I think choosing the right bass sound and melody will definitely help bring this one up to scratch. But yeah, like, you've got the elements and the vibe spot on, and I really like these sort of brass stabs in here you've got as well. It's really cool. Just like a pad or something again would be nice in here, just to bring everything else all together. But yeah, man, like, your sound choice of what you've got in here so far, really nice. And maybe look at that Some Days track and just like download the extended mix and just use that as a reference for mixing down. So just drag it into your project and just see the differences in terms of like mixing and levels between your track and theirs. That'll be a good sort of way to check what levels like certain elements need to be at. But yeah, man, great work, Steve. Thanks for sending that in. Cool. Right, let's go Alpha J. I'm gonna again just skip quite heavily through these, as I'm getting ear fatigue pretty badly. So yeah, and I want to get through everyone. So yeah, I think we have like 4 left or whatever. But yeah, cool. Right, Alpha J. Let's go.
Can we do better? Wish I could rewind back to the start. Me love. You got there's something I can seem to let go. Let go. Wish I could rewind back to the start. Drop me low. Listen in the dark. Can we do better? In the dark. Can we got me high then drop me low? Listen in the dark. Wish I could reach to let go. You got me high, yeah.
Sick. Nice work, Alpha J. Yeah, similar vibe to like the last track. But yeah, the piano is really nice again. The vocal is like super clean in terms of mix down. I don't know if that's what you've done but yeah, like, it sounds great. And yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah, first of all, like the bass line in this, again, similar to the last one, I can't really hear it, or it's not really carrying the low end. But yeah, if you add in like a bass line, maybe bring it up in the mix, the current one you've got, and just play with like the envelope settings, it can really help sort of bring it together and again make the drop like hit much harder. But yeah, like vocal fits perfect with that piano. Drums are solid. It's just the bass which sort of is lacking here. The organ again sounds really cool. That classic like M1 sound. So yeah, man, really nice. I think as well in terms of like mix down, similar to the last one, get a reference track like a piano house track, and just drag it into your DAW, and then just sort of match the levels of your elements to theirs. Because the thing about piano house is it's harder to mix down than some sort of simpler genres, because there's a lot of the time a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you can get the basics like the drums sort of matching in terms of levels, then it's much easier to sort of bring the piano in. But yeah, wicked work, bro. Cool. Right, we have 1, 2, 3 left. Sweet. Right, we have Konnichiwa with Don't Waste.
Work it. Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't. Baby, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't work it. Baby, don't work it. Off my line, I'm in my bag, now my feelings. Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't. Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't waste my time. Waste my time.
Sick. Nice work, Konnichiwa. Yeah, like the idea of this is really nice. I think you've nailed the vibe. I think it's the mix down again, which is sort of holding back on this. But the actual like sounds and stuff you've used are really, really cool. Like the drop sound, I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, it's really nice, different as well, not just like a generic sound. So that's really cool. Vocal again is really nice. I think the drop is just a bit, the break is just a bit sort of empty.
Baby, don't waste my time. Baby, don't.
Like you could definitely have like a cool synth or like a pad or something, similar to what you got in the drops going on here, just to build a bit more tension. But yeah, other than that, like the actual sound selection of the sounds you've got in there already, super solid. I think sort of having giving this a mix down again with a reference track in your DAW would really help sort of bring this one to life. But yeah, super solid work. Thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, next up we have Thornbur with Jump Up.
Let me see you move around.
Cool, so mix down is super solid on this one. Sound selection again is great. Bass is like really in your face. Works well with the drums, really punchy as well. Vocals cool. The thing that's missing for me right now is like a synth hook to sort of catch on to. Would be nice to hear. But yeah, man, let's carry on listening. Sweet. Yeah, nice work, Thornbur. Like, it's super solid mix down, and solid sound selection as well. Overall, like, great track. Vocals are really nice again. yeah, for me it would just be like a synth hook or something that just comes in now and again. I know you've got some like stabs here, but just something with maybe a bit more melody or a bit more character would be nice. But yeah, super solid work. Yeah, thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, we have 2 more left. We have Comsy with Superstar.
All the things they're wrong about. Write it on a piece of paper. Gotta think about this. Let's keep it, 'cause I really wanna rock with you. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar. 'Cause you got all eyes on you no matter when. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar.
Cool, so the actual idea of this is really sick. Again, like the rhythm and the melody and stuff with the bass is really, really cool. I think it's just, again, like a mixed down thing. Like, it just sounds really crowded on the drop. I don't know if that's just because, again, there's some things in there which, like frequencies, which need to be taken out, or a sound selection thing in terms of like your kick and stuff. But it could just potentially be like a mixed down thing. But the actual idea of it is really, really cool. And I like how it drops into this break.
Piece of paper.
Here, this is really cool, and then it goes back into like a sort of house sort of vibe. But the actual groove and stuff is wicked. It just sounds a bit too overcrowded at some points, but again, maybe that's just a mixed down thing. But yeah, man, cool so far.
Look around. Everybody's getting down. I'm thinking about this, 'cause I really wanna. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar. 'Cause you got all eyes on. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this. 'Cause you got all eyes on.
Cool, man. Yeah, the idea 100% works. I really, really like it, to be honest. Like, yeah, it's just maybe like the mix which is holding it back. It's the first track I've mixed and mastered, so I got to work on it. Lol. Yeah, man, like mixing and mastering is not something that you can just sort of learn over like a few weeks or even like months or years. The more you do it, the more like better you'll be at it. There are some like methods and techniques which can definitely help. And for me, like a reference track is definitely one of them. Because then you've got something to like compare your track to and compare your individual elements to. So yeah, man, just go and like and grab like a reference track in this sort of vibe, with this like 808 bass and the heavy drums. Again, like Martin Ikin, Matroda, them sort of people, in this sort of vibe. And just like, first of all, just start by like matching the levels of your kick, for example, with the reference track. And then you can just build it from there. But yeah, man, like the actual idea of this is super sick. So maybe try and like remix this. Just make it simpler. Like just grab your kick, bass, hat, clap, and vocal, and just try and mix that the best you can in comparison to your reference. And then all the other stuff will just sort of, you can just hear what level to put them at. But yeah, this is sick. Thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, last track we have in the session is, if it loads, Rafael Santi with Tella, supported by Hugo Andres JCO. Sick. Cool. Nice work. I'm expecting some Latin vibes then. Let's go.
Muévala. Muévala, muévala, muévala. Siéntela. Muévala, 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 muévala. Ritmo, pero siéntela, siéntela, siéntela.
So if this has been supported by Hugo and Andres, I'm not sure if you need my feedback, but we'll do it anyway.
Siéntela, 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 para que no muévala, 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 pero siéntela, 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 para que no muévala, 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 pero muévala, 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 pero muévala, 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 pero siéntela, 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 para que no muévala. Siéntela, siéntela, para que no muévala. Muévala, 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 siéntela. Siéntela, 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 muévala. Siéntela, pero siéntela, siéntela, siéntela.
Sweet. Yeah, I can 100% see why them two would play this, especially Hugo. Like that vocal and stuff, that's just him, like, to a T. But yeah, like, super polished production, mixed down sounding great, it's super clean, yeah, the groove's great, yeah. I'm not sure if you've signed this yet or if this is like unreleased and you've just sent it to them to play. But I don't know, just a bit of variation in like these sections after the main drop happens. Like this bit here, maybe add something into this, like this 8 bars here, and these are just small things, but from what I would do, but it could be like another like percussion instrument or like a stab or anything like that, like just to change the sort of groove. Yeah, and I think Joan has nailed it on the head. Like this bit here, again, maybe the break is slightly too long, the first break, or you need to add again like another thing in here to just add a bit more interest in this section. But yeah, man, like super solid in this sort of genre, and I'm sure you'll be able to get this signed and more DJs play it, because yeah, it's super solid. So yeah, great work, bro. Cool. Right, unreleased for now, but I've had a few offers from labels. There is part with just vocals and it changes, I have more variations. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, just take that what you want to, but that's just what I would potentially look at doing if it doesn't work. Like this works by itself, it's just maybe try and add like an extra 5% or whatever. But yeah, man, super solid. Sweet, cool. Right, that is all the time we have today. I believe I've gotten for everyone anyway. So yeah, thanks for sending all your tracks in. Some wicked tracks in there. And yeah, a good mix as well, which is really cool to hear. Cool. So let me just get this up. Cool. So yeah, if you guys aren't in the Discord, definitely make sure to check it out in the link in the description. Really cool community of producers. There's loads of stuff in there, and yeah, you can also get there's also some giveaways of the packs for Tech House Market and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely go and hop in there if you aren't already. And yeah, thanks for sending your tracks in.